What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky Pete back with all the news after week 4 of our Los Angeles Crusaders franchise, where the Crusaders have improved to 4-0. Now, the last win came with a few kinks. Devin Golden has been hurt, and we are going to have to check up on that. That could be a very bad thing for the Crusaders. Remember, Devin Golden's injury last season is a big reason why we ended up missing the playoffs. So if he is out for an extended period of time, it could be horrible news for this Crusader team. Now, we have made a change up. Last year we went with Case and Dobbs, and he really didn't step up in the way we wanted him to. This time we have Jesus King leading the way. It'll be interesting to see if he can fill in a little bit better than Dobbs did last year. The other downside to last week's win, Stuart Denny had another bad game. He has struggled here in recent weeks. Actually, I take that back. The previous week, we relied on the passing game. However, we've played 4 games, and he has struggled in 2 of them. That's a better way of saying it. Especially against a defense I feel like he could have taken more advantage of. He did throw for 2 interceptions, no touchdowns on the day. And that's boosted his interception rate up through 4 games to 7. Something we're definitely not too happy with. Up next, though, we have the 0-3 Vikings. And that gives us a perfect opportunity to improve to a 5-0 team, which early on in the season, starting off well like that is definitely going to be good. Having that 5-0 cushion potentially while Devin Golden's out is definitely going to help us as well. Let's go ahead and continue to develop Sherman. We did see Anders James get an interception there. That was awesome. Amukamara also stepped up with an interception. That was pretty cool. You know, I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I believe both Denard and Amukamara were ranked in 89 last time we were at this screen. Now they're both 90. I don't know if that's the case or not. You definitely see their confidence improving, so that could very well likely be changing things. But giving Sherman a lot of hours here. And a big part of that, you know what? We'll go ahead and give Bola Asante some as well. Bola Asante has been playing great, though. I've been very, very pleased with the productions he's been giving us. Really kind of noticeably an upgrade over all the right outside linebackers that we have had throughout the years outside of C.O. Moore. When we let C.O. Moore go, we thought we would be able to replace him, and we've had some guys fill in. They were okay, but Bola Asante definitely offers up a little bit more than we had seen in the past. Now, if you look over here, there's nothing in the news, the top stories, but if you look on the right side, the Titans relocation is official, so it is happening. I hadn't missed anything of it. They are going to leave Nashville, but we haven't really seen anything as to where they're going or anything like that. So I don't know what else to say in that regard yet, but it's pretty interesting to see. It's pretty cool to see. Cam Newton is on the trade block. You remember they got Brock Osweiler to replace him, and you see his overall has dropped considerably. Progressing player, now we'll do all that later. The Vikings have an incredible defense, ranked number 2 overall. However, their offense has greatly struggled. Now, the Vikings have been a very good team throughout this entire franchise series. So it's going to be interesting to see who they've lost to kind of put them in the situation they're at now. You would think they still have Adrian Peterson here, but that might not be the case if their offense is ranked 32 overall. And the other side of that, actually, is the fact that they've only played 3 games, and it usually goes based on yardage. So that's actually probably a very huge stat as to why they're ranked so high defensively and so low offensively, now that I think about it. Another weird thing is we don't have any more draft stories yet. I've kind of been waiting to find some, but nothing there yet. We'll keep an eye on that as we move forward in the future. Standings-wise, you know, it's still a race in our division between us and the Broncos. You see the Eagles up here also 4-0. We've scored the same amount of points, but our defense is 2 points better. What up, Eagles? Keep an eye on that. A lot of undefeated teams to this point. So, you know, we're still going to have to pay attention to all this. But look at the 49ers offense. Less than 10 points a game through 4 games. Unbelievable. And their offense might be the best in the NFL as well. Best offense in the NFL and the best defense in the NFL. Wow. They are coming out swinging. Who knows what their schedule's been like early on, but definitely a team that we might be seeing later on if we're lucky enough to advance through the playoffs. Again, still kind of struggling. 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I'm not too happy with that, especially after last week's performance. The last 2 games, we really haven't seen him complete a whole lot of passes. We need to get him up there, and he actually has the worst quarterback rating in the division now, as Mitch Farrell has improved. 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Tremaine Small, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And Chaz Jenkins, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Devin Golden leading the way, and oh wow. Stuart Denny has the least amount of touchdown passes and the most interceptions. I just realized that. Devin Golden still leading the way. We will check on his injury as we move forward. Le'Veon Bell leading the way in touchdown carries. Receiving the ball, Sanders still leading the way. Jabbar Gray catching up, though, right behind him. In fact, he passed him in yards with that last week. Brandon Marshall, 5 touchdown receptions. Still nobody on the list for us until way down here with Shakir Gaten at 15, Keyston Mack 14, Jacob Moody 12, and then Julius Baker with 12 as well. We definitely need to improve there. We do have Jacob Moody with 3 touchdowns, though, so he is on the list in that regard. Defensively, Butler still leading the way. Obviously, our guys are all taking care of the sack department. Bola Asante with 4 interceptions, 2 for Dante Whitner, 2 for Raheem Moore. And now we actually have a guy on the list again. It did glitch out the Javian Mitchell interception, but Prince Amukamara and Anders James have both made this list. We did force quite a few fumbles last week. We only recovered 1. However, 3 fumbles forced for Khalil Mack, 2 for Brandon Spikes, 1 for Keegan Gibson, and then Grayson forced 1 for the Broncos. 3 recoveries, Khalil Mack with 1, Bola Asante with 1, and Grayson with 1 as well. We'll check out defensive touchdowns, block safeties, all that jazz. Doesn't look like anything. Yeah. Oh, wait, 1 defensive touchdown for Raheem Moore. I take that back. One other thing we're going to check out, and this is because it was requested, is, and it's something I think was pretty obvious, but in case it wasn't, somebody asked where Richardson went. And maybe it's not obvious because I do not see him on this list, but we never saw him in free agency. Let's just go ahead and check out the Jaguars roster. I'd be shocked if he left. I didn't see him in free agency again. Yeah, he's still on. I don't know. Maybe he got taken over. That's very weird. Maybe he must be hurt because obviously he is just a force to be reckoned with. I don't know what's going on there. Injury report, Devin Golden. Let's get the bad news. 4 weeks. All right. We're sitting at 4-0 right now. We have a pretty winnable game next week. Let's check our schedule for the next 4 weeks. Let's see what we have to deal with. Now, I think we have a bye week in there. That's definitely going to be a benefit to us, which means we're only going to miss him for 3 games if I am not mistaken. However, I believe one of those games is against the Broncos. We will find out here. The Vikings, the Bears, and the Broncos. Okay. We do have that bye week, so we will have him back for our second matchup against the Broncos, the home game, which is a little bit more important than the away game for us. Again, I think this is a winnable game, so if we can improve to 5-0, the Bears and Broncos, that might be tough. Those might be tough matchups without Devin Golden, but we could go 5-2 into the bye week, and then if we can beat the Broncos, we'll regain that. Not regain it, but we'll even out the series so they don't have the tiebreaker over us if we have Devin Golden back. 6-2. 6-2 might be a good goal to have by this week here. Of course, anything could change, you know. I mean, if the Bears, we might be able to beat them and then split the games with the Broncos. Who knows? Maybe Denny's going to come out and outduel Chaz Jenkins. We never know. It'll be interesting to kind of keep an eye on that. Last but not least, let's check on the weekly awards, see what we got going on here. And we have Brock Osweiler, speaking of him, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, though. 368 yards. Foster with 13 tackles and an interception. Khalil Mack winning AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Wow. The week with 9 tackles, 1 sack, 1 fumble forced and a fumble recovered. And then Tremaine Small, the former Crusader, 407 yards, 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception for him. Guys, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in week 5 as we take on the Vikings. Later.